What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Chris, aka that plant-based brother, and welcome back to my channel, Culture Kitchen. Now, before we get started with today's video, as always, I want to say thank you to my subscribers, and if you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome. Please hit subscribe and the notification bell so you can be up to date when I drop new videos. Now, on to today's video. Y'all see the title, alright? We're doing vegan fried chicken, alright? Now, what we're using for our chicken, we're using oyster mushrooms. If you don't know what oyster mushrooms are, oyster mushrooms are a staple in the vegan community, in my opinion. Reason being, they're very versatile. Okay? You can use them for a number of things. Me personally, I use them for my fried chicken. I've used them for vegan crab cakes. I've used them for vegan pulled pork. I even made an oyster mushroom brisket that turned out great. Okay? Now, the oyster mushroom brisket, I'll get to that video in another time. All right? But today, we're doing vegan fried chicken. Now, the beauty of oyster mushrooms is the fact that they're tasteless. So they're going to take on the flavor of whatever you season it with. All right? Now, after watching today's video and you try this recipe, take your fried oyster mushrooms to your non-vegan friends, and I guarantee you, let me get close. Listen, I guarantee you, they're gonna look at you like you're crazy because they're gonna be eating mushrooms that taste like chicken. But let me shut my mouth and let's get to the video. In 3, 2, 1.
All right, family, here are the list of ingredients to make the vegan fried chicken. We got some oyster mushrooms. We have plant-based milk. I'm using oat milk. For my flour, I'm using chickpea flour. For the seasonings, I have adobo seasoning, onion powder, paprika, pepper, and then we're going to fry it in grapeseed oil. All right, family. So we're going to start preparing our oyster mushrooms and preparing them. We're going to clean them off a little bit. We're going to clean them off. We're going to rinse them under some water just to make sure we get all the dirt off the mushrooms. All right. Now, when you're rinsing your mushrooms, make sure you squeeze the excess water out. You know, mushrooms they do absorb, so you don't want your mushrooms being too soggy before you fry them. So that's what I'm doing right here. All right. All right, family. So now that we have our oyster mushrooms nice and rinsed and dirt free, we're gonna go ahead and break our oyster mushrooms into the desired pieces that you want your vegan fried chicken to be. All right. Now, I recommend don't break them up too small. All right. You kind of want them to resemble the size of, nice sized chicken tenders. I think that's a good way of putting it, right? So as you can see here, I'm making sure that I keep, the big pieces intact. And what I'm doing is I'm pressing against the mushrooms to make sure that I did get most of the water out. All right, because like I said, these mushrooms definitely absorb. All right, they're all about absorption. Okay, so that's what I'm doing right here. All right, family, now it's time to make the wet batter. So to make the wet batter, we're going to start with 1 cup of plant-based milk. I'm using oat milk. If you don't want to use oat milk and you want to use almond milk or whatever nut-based milk you want to use, that's fine. Now, you can also make this gluten-free. This is not gluten-free because I'm using oat milk. If you want to make this gluten-free, you will use almond milk, some type of nut-based milk. You can use Ripple. Ripple's made from peas. All right. You can use soy milk. All right. But because I'm using oat milk, this is not gluten-free. All right, family. Next, we're going to go with 1 tablespoon of flour. Now, the flour that I'm using today, as you can see in the video, is chickpea flour. If you don't have chickpea flour, then you can use whatever flour that you have on hand, okay? Now, chickpea flour, I just want to let you guys know, is a great option if you're trying to make this meal gluten-free. All right, family, next we're going to go with a 1/2 tablespoon of adobo seasoning. Reason why I use adobo seasoning is because it already has salt, garlic, oregano, and turmeric in it, and it's convenient, so that's why I use adobo seasoning. Okay, so we're going to go with a 1/2 tablespoon of adobo seasoning, and then we're going to go ahead and give this a mix. All right, family, now it's time to make our dry batter. All right, so we're going to start with 1 cup of our flour. As you can see in the video, I'm using chickpea flour. All right, and as I said earlier, you can use whatever flour you want to use. All right, so yes, we're going to go with 1 cup of flour. All right, family, next we're gonna go with a tablespoon of adobo seasoning. The reason why I like using adobo seasoning is because it's made up of other spices. So you don't have to worry about buying a whole bunch of different spices to make the flour, to make the dry batter. You can just get adobo seasoning and you can kill two birds with one stone. All right, family, next we're gonna go with a half tablespoon of paprika. All right, family, next we're gonna go with a half tablespoon of black pepper. All right, family. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and mix our dry ingredients together. We want to make sure that we get the seasonings equally distributed throughout the flour. This is very important. Okay. Now, after we're done mixing, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and take our dry batter. We're going to take our dry batter and we're going to put it in a Ziploc bag. All right, family. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and use our grapeseed oil and we're going to add it to our deep fryer. Or if you hood like me, we're going to use a pot. Okay. Now, the reason why I use grapeseed oil is because of its high burn rate. And bruh, look at the swollenness in my Superman shirt. Anyway, I digress. Let's go ahead and make sure we put this pot on medium high heat. All right, family, we almost at the finish line. We almost at the finish line. All right, so now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and take our oyster mushrooms. We're going to dip them in our wet batter. All right, and then we're going to add them to our Ziploc bag that has our dry batter. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and give it a nice shake. All right, we're going to get a nice shake, and then we're going to go ahead and take the oyster mushrooms out the dry batter, and then we're going to deep fry them. Okay, now when you're deep frying, make sure you monitor your mushrooms. These mushrooms cook very fast, okay? They take about 2 minutes on each side, 2 to 3 minutes on each side. So make sure you monitor your mushrooms, all right? Now, if your mushrooms come out burnt, don't blame me. You've been warned, okay? Just putting that out there so we all on the same wave, all right? All right, family, as you can see here, here's a clip of me going through the whole process, putting the oyster mushrooms in the wet batter, dry batter, and then frying them. And also want to take a timeout of the video just to let you guys know that I'm here for y'all. All right, this is why I create a Culture Kitchen. This is why I create these videos. Now, I do understand that being vegan does not always mean healthy, and I get that. All right, but the reason why I create a Culture Kitchen is to help beginners transition and wean off of meat and dairy. Now, another reason why I created Culture Kitchen is because who wants to eat boring ass food? I mean, let's keep it a buck, right? Who wants to eat boring ass food? We're gonna keep it 100. So at Culture Kitchen, we eat plants, we make plant-based meals, but they look delicious. And the easiest way for me to help people transition is to make vegan comfort foods. All right. Now, once your taste buds get used to eating plants on a regular basis, it will help the transition process a lot and it will wean you off the meat and the dairy. All right, family, I just want to give you guys a little, close up of what I'm working with when I'm deep frying my vegan fried chicken. And look at that. Look at that. Damn. That's what you want right there. Greatness. All right, family, we're pretty much done. Now, this is just an extra step to ensure that our vegan fried chicken is going to be extra crispy. Okay. So, what we're going to do, we're going to put our air fry on 350 and we're going to cook our vegan fried chicken for about 3 to 5 minutes. And I got this idea from a fellow YouTuber named Diyasha Jones. I watched Diyasha's video on how to cook fried oyster mushrooms, and she uses an air fryer. So, I tried it and it worked out great. So, shout out to you, Diyasha. And if you guys want the link to Diyasha's channel, I'll go ahead and put that in the description box. All right. Now, as you can see here, I'm just plating my food and we're pretty much done. And here you have it. Vegan fried chicken. Damn.
Damn! Oh my God!
Well, there you have it, family. Vegan fried chicken using oyster mushrooms. I had a lot of fun making this and hope you have a lot of fun as well. If you have any questions or concerns, you can always drop a comment or you can email me at culturekitchen@gmail.com. If you'd like to stay up to date with me on social media, on Instagram, it's at that plant-based brother, and on Facebook, it's facebook.com/Culture Kitchen. I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. With that being said, this your boy Chris, aka that plant-based brother with Culture Kitchen, signing off. Are we cooking?